And it's something that NAVI is desperately looking to get. For M3, it would just be another day at the office. But we love a good upset here, Dinko.
It would be cool to see if NAVI can start to step up, show some of that work they've been doing. But M3 onto team, they're going to be stagnant themselves. We've already seen some adaptations. And this round, NAVI finally back to the bites after a timeout. We'll see if there's any changes in their setup. It is heavier towards mid. Often you've seen SSK going here alone, but now they've got teammates with him. So NAVI feel like this is the chance at the opening they can use. Let's see if they can get through the market, though. Nats is here, and he's been pretty solid so far.
I love this. They're having a little bit of conviction about them. It means that they get shut down, but that conviction is something that has been lacking in the early to mid round for NAVI. We said they like to poke and prod, and then they sit there, they stall. This round, they didn't want to do that, and that timeout might have been a little bit of discussion about having that conviction about them. Unfortunately, that dual swing, something that M3 knows a lot about, was not completed in totality, and as a result, Cloud, he will suffer the consequences.
I love this B main control right now from Defo. So if they come in towards his position, he's going to be in a very good spot. Actually, with the 0 point, he can't use that tailwind away, so he can't dash back. So he can't take a deep angle, so I had to drop back to the operator into the side. 20 seconds left here, there's not a lot of time left for NAVI. It has to be perfect, and problem is here, M3 have so many players in the side. Defo and Right Guard, the first couple in. Right Guard will go down, but in his ultimate still available. Still a problem if they can get him back to his feet, but NAVI was 7 seconds and nowhere near the site. This round is done. They haven't got enough time to get the plant, and all they need to do now is just hide away. M3 have it. It's 6 rounds, and NAVI floundered right now. Feels like they're running out of ideas already.
Players something. Now I have no doubt the coach stood there or sat there and said, I need you to have more conviction in the early to mid round. I need you to take the space upon which you are poking and prodding. Don't sit there, don't bait for as long as you are. Have a little bit of confidence and conviction about that. And when they did, they lost the player and then they questioned themselves. And by that time, it was too late.
Well, looks like a heavy A play, much more conviction perhaps here for NAVI as they charge their way through the A site. Some utility being thrown down for M3. You can see they're passive enough setup, but finally Chronicle thinks he can slip the net. He's got information that he's taken away one and realizes they're still behind that nebula. Once again, it is the push forward for NAVI, revealing Chronicle, but he runs out of ammo. JD quick to the trigger, hits the headshot with a Sheriff, but NAVI, they want a plant. They want to get the spike down if possible here. They're sticking it around the back of the generator, and they will come through with a plant at a minimum. Now, looking at the round win, not looking likely here for NAVI with the numbers that M3 still have.
Well, Defo tried to rain down hell from above there, but unfortunately was unable to get the hit that he's looking for. JD's lit as well, so for Cloud and JD, a couple of bullets will be enough, and with enough utility for them to get the retake and shots like that, it means it's going to be all over Red Rover. Dinko, no. A post-plant around, so close, and the possibilities for NAVI to get themselves back into this half. But they have one singular round to their name. A little bit more conviction, boys. This is what it's got to be. They have multiple ultimates to work with here. If they wanted to use it in the early round or even a post-plant situation, where are you looking? SSK gets his absolute head blown off, and I have no idea, but it's glad that they were able to recollect and keep going.
Yeah, that's the number difference there. Earlier on in this game, it was SSK on his own, but they've traded out. They've taken that mid-control. We'll see how M3 adapt to this one. Still one player in the site, and that player's been incredible. Chronicle has been a real nuisance to deal with for NAVI. Still here in this fight. Cosmic Divide going up. It's all going to be on his shoulders. The pressure is his. Chronicle needs to step up, and not a single kill is bested by the other Killjoy on the other side of things. And now Shados and Nats. This is finally looking like a round where NAVI are in a unlosable position. If M3 pull this off, this will just break the spine of NAVI. So looks very good for the NAVI side at the moment.
Well, they've committed one ultimate to it. It's dropped now, but that Cosmic Divide was very important for getting them safely onto site. Now, in a post-plant, we also have the stars to work with here. Duno doing absolute wonders of work here. You can see M3, they know they're up against the wall. There's too much utility to deal with, too many guns pointing their way, and the time, it's dwindled too far. Nats wants to get some exit picks as well, because all of the players have to vacate now. They'll hit B main, and, well, surely he'll get one for the trouble, and as the trade comes out, Shados wants more, and they've bitten off a lot here. Been able to get multiple plays even though they'll win this round, and that's going to do quite a bit of damage regardless.
Yeah, we'll see how much.
Good bit of shots there. I like that. I like that they stalled for the beginning as well. Don't throw the recon out too early. Make sure that that's something that you want to commit there, and of course it will come back later in the round for you to be able to utilize should you wish to, but I think this is a really good start here for NAVI because what they've been able to do is block off key power positions for Defo there. That mid control is something that NAVI is desperate for. And we saw that was very, very prominent after that timeout. So they need to work out what is the key to getting this mid control.
Once again, M3 are given that mid control to NAVI to play with. It's given them the option here for an A split. You can see 2 players outside of A right now, 3 going up in towards short and tree. You could split this A side, but rotation's starting to come back here for M3. They're starting to get the numbers over here to try and deal with this. Nats has been incredible. Hunter's Fury popped up to try and clear out Heaven, but Nats, he goes through, but he gets caught. SSK brings down the head of Redguard. Nats will fall to his teammate. Cosmic Divide up, gives a few extra seconds to get this spike down comfortably.
30 seconds left.
There we go, another post plant here for NAVI. Surely an unlosable post plant.
Yeah,
surely this is absolutely, especially with the operator in hand. Defo definitely doesn't want to lose that one. And if you're Australian, Defo means definitely. So you'll know exactly what I'm thinking every time I say his name.
And another Australian phrase is it all over Red Rover? Is that an Australian thing? I don't think I've heard that. Brit,
You've never heard that before?
Yeah,
wow.
no, I've heard it. I've heard it before because I casted with an Australian in another game I work in Sponge, and he says that all the time. So I'm just
Sponge.
like, yeah, it must be an Aussie thing.
It must be. Look, to be honest with you, I say a lot of Australian things. I've tried to back up on it, Dinko, a little bit, but every now and then.
Just back, go for it.
Absolutely. Now here we go. Back into the swing of things. Even if NAVI doesn't win another round.
Yeah, it definitely looks rough because the rest of the veto looks pretty good for M3 and Defo. Good start to the round. This time he's inside of the A side. He's been very dynamic. He's been all over the show. We've seen him in the early rounds. He was over towards B and towards B main. We've seen him in the last round towards short. This time starts the round in towards A, and it's come away with that first pick, and that's making it pretty difficult for NAVI. You can't really avoid the operator. You don't know where it is. And now NAVI deciding, well, we haven't got anything towards A. They're just going to loop back and go for this B hit instead.
That was really good read from Defo as well. Every time he tried down mid, he would always get smoked off. There is no point standing in a position where you are powerless. Instead, move yourself to another position where they're not smoking you off, where they're not going to expect you to be. I love that adaptation there.
Well, they are powerless now. The ultimates come through, the null command already popped, and
oh, perfect.
yeah, it's absolutely perfect. Hunter's Fury trying to stop them from coming out, but Jetty will charge. Redguard suppressed, doesn't matter. Peeks out with a headshot. Now starting to drop back into the site. Jetty moving forward. Knows what the second one is as well, and his teammates will clean it out. NAVI have the site, and now we have to look to the retake. 3v3 for M3.
Spike planted.
Really well done there from JD to be able to hold off on that, and especially to be able to get the players deep around box. But there comes out the lockdown now. It means that if Chronicle wants to get in, he has to destroy it, but it's not where he thinks it is. This is the bad part. He's going to have to corner himself into B main and wait it out, but every second that delays gives them another opportunity, and damn, Defo, someone must have stood back too far, and it's Dinks, and as he's got the shorty in his hand, what's he going to be able to pop with it?
I'll get close into the side. Shados and Chronicle clean it up, and just like that, a 3v3 turned to the 8th round for M3, and it's just these retakes that are looking so decisive and so coordinated and cool under pressure. A meticulous retake from M3, and for NAVI, it's got to feel so rough. How many times have you been able to get that spike down, but just getting retake over and over again? It feels so rough.
Out it did go is that every time I'm watching these, even if we watch it in the replay here, and they do get control of site, they have great post-plant positions, they have great post-plant utility usage, and I'm talking about JD there before, that him being able to abate that kind of push in to stop them with the plant.